All right. So in the last video, we saw that series and parallel circuits differ in how they set up their total resistance. Well, there's also some pretty big differences in how they set up their voltages and their currents. So in a series circuit, and we're going to look at the same circuits that we looked at the last go around. But basically, in our series circuit here, with our 12-volt battery and our 1, 2, and 3 ohm resistors, essentially what happens is that 12 volts is shared equally throughout that whole system. It's shared by the whole system. So essentially, if we were to say these were light bulbs, essentially what would happen is if we kept plugging in more and more and more light bulbs to this circuit, they would continually get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. At some point, if you had, say, I don't know, 20, 30, 100 bulbs, at some point, the bulbs would glow so dim that you could hardly tell that they were even operating anymore because the draw is being divided up by each of the bulbs, and the battery just can't put out enough oomph to shoot them through the bulbs fast enough to get them to glow. Now, one result of this is that the current through each resistor ends up being the same. And so the voltage, while across each one varies, the current itself remains the same. Now, this is opposite of what happens with a parallel circuit. Okay, with a parallel circuit, basically what happens here is the voltage across each branch is 12 volts, regardless. And so I could put 100 bulbs on this. The effect would be that each bulb would be plenty bright, but your battery is going to run out of juice super quick. The more and more light bulbs you kept putting on that battery, the quicker and quicker the battery would be drained of its juice, its potential to provide the energy to make the bulbs run. Now, as a result of that, the current is divided in each branch based on how much resistance is there. And so current through each resistor varies, but voltage across each branch is constant. And so if you compare this statement with this statement, okay, and this statement with this statement, they're opposites of one another. And so if you can kind of figure out some way to, again, I don't want you to commit it to memory, but have it make sense to you when you go through and do some of the problems in your packet and on the next quiz. This may help you get through those a little bit easier.